And the next topic is Jon Gruden got a big win. I was surprised by this in the state of Nevada. Kinda if you know the state of Nevada, the politicians there, very, very corrupt, kinda like everywhere else in our country, but definitely there. But Jon Gruden taking on the big bad NFL, the Shield, who seems to be able to do anything they want. But he's got a strong case, strong enough that the Nevada Supreme Court has ruled in favor of former Raiders head coach Jon Gruden in his appeal against the NFL. Gruden is suing the NFL because if you remember, he got fired by the Raiders. Well, was forced to resign because the NFL, he alleges that Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL and the NFL improperly leaked his emails, which there was some private stuff said there where he used some not politically correct terms in those emails, and they leaked it to damage his reputation and ultimately get him fired or forced to resign. He will now get discovery and get his day in court. A lot of these situations, these disputes with the NFL, they have to go to arbitration. But John was able to get the Supreme Court, the Nevada Supreme Court, to rule in his favor. And instead of going to arbitration, he is going to go to court and be able to present his case to a jury. Now, the only step left is the actual Supreme Court. But who knows if they're going to take up this case? I highly doubt it. Now, I'm no lawyer or expert when it comes to legal matters, but Supreme Court takes up very little cases. Now it's the NFL. They can grease some palms. Who knows? But if they couldn't grease the palms of the Nevada Supreme Court, I don't know how they're going to be able to do it with the actual Supreme Court of the United States. So we will see, but I wanted to ask Grok about this to see what Grok says. He says the Nevada Supreme Court ruling on August 11th allows for former Raiders coach Jon Gruden to pursue a lawsuit against the NFL, alleging Commissioner Roger Goodell orchestrated the leak of Gruden's emails. That was the other thing about it. The reason why he has such a strong case is because he's like, listen, you guys have my emails, but I know you guys have everyone else's emails. And this was when Gruden was back with the Washington Redskins. When he was back with the Redskins, they leaked those emails, not the ones that he has while he was the head coach of the Raiders the second time through. They leaked those ones, but they didn't leak anyone else's emails. Anyone else in the league. And he knows that they all are saying the same shit that he says, but they didn't leak those out there. Of course not. No. You think Roger Goodell's ever said something bad in an email? Probably. But they leaked his emails, which contained offensive language from 2011 to 2018, leading to his 2021 resignation. This decision overturns a prior arbitration clause, citing unconditionally due to Goodell's potential self-judgment, as detailed in an 8-page opinion by NBC Sports. That's the thing that why he had to get out of arbitration, because ultimately at the end of the day, it was going to be Roger Goodell's decision on whether he had a case or not, which is a pretty big conflict of interest, considering the fact that Goodell's the commissioner of the NFL and the lawsuits against him and the league. Of course, Goodell's going to protect the league. Gruden's case hinges on emails uncovered during a Washington Commanders, at the time, Redskins workplace investigation revealing racist, sexist, and homophobic content, which the NFL reportedly used strategically, a move some legal analysts suggest could expose deeper league corruption if discovery proceeds. I hope we get it. Historical context shows Gruden's successful tenure with the Raiders and Buccaneers, including a Super Bowl win, contrasts sharply with his abrupt exit, raising questions about the NFL's handling of the internal disputes. With no peer-reviewed studies yet available, but public sentiment on X suggests a potential shift in league accountability. I think we all know what the league is. We all know they're not squeaky clean up there. We know it's dirty. We know they've all said some things that would not be politically correct. And they targeted Jon Gruden. They wanted him out of there. Why? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in discovery. Maybe he pissed some people off. Gruden's a big personality, not afraid to speak his mind, as we can see from those leaked emails. But this is huge. Big win for Jon Gruden. He has said he wants to coach again one day. He doesn't care if he's coaching high school football. He does want to get back to coaching at some point. I love him with Barstool right now. I think he's a great content creator. Love what he's doing over there. I think he should keep doing that, but his passion is coaching. So we will see, but a big win. Hopefully we get discovery on this, and hopefully this goes to court. I doubt it actually gets there. I bet there's going to be a settlement. The NFL does not want this leaked. Does not want this leaked. They'll do everything they can to avoid having to go to a jury trial. But right now, that's where we're headed. So we'll continue to follow this story. Let me know what you think about this story. Comment below, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next video.